A 24-year-old Indian was lynched by hate. Not by a terrorist, not in a war zone, but by ordinary men in an ordinary street here in India, because they decided he did not look Indian enough. His name was Angel Chakma from Tripura, a young man with dreams, a future, a family waiting for him to come back home before he was stabbed through the neck and spine, and his last words were, "I am an Indian." Let that sink in. A citizen of this country had to declare his citizenship seconds before he was attacked. Those words echo louder than his death. They echo the rot we have normalized. Angel and his younger brother were racially profiled by a mob, as claimed by the younger brother, Michael. They were abused with slurs many from the northeast grew up hearing: Chinese, momo, chinki, Nepali, and much more. When the younger brother resisted and he said, "We are Indian," he was assaulted. He was hit on his head. When Angel intervened to protect him, the mob turned savage. Angel was stabbed in his neck and spine.
मैं था, मेरा भैया था, हम लोग दो दोस्त हम लोग के साथ हम लोग गए थे सामान लेने के लिए। तो हम लोग उधर पे गए, तो हम लोग अपना सामान लेते हम लोग के साथ। उधर पे उन लोग का ग्रुप था उधर पे पूरा, तो उन लोग थोड़ा पी रखा था उन लोगों ने। तो हम उधर पे गए, हम लोग आ रहे थे उधर से। तो हम लोग आए, तो हम लोग अपना बाइक से अपना आ रहे थे हम लोग सब। तो उन लोग हम लोग को मेरे को थोड़ा पोक कर रहा था, ये चिंकी उनकी मेरे को थोड़ा सा रेसिज्म कर रहा था। तो मैं थोड़ा अपने तरफ से अपने सेल्फ डिफेंस मतलब थोड़ा बोल रहा था कि भैया क्या हो गया करके। उधर पे हम लोग अपना उस समय फोन में बात कर रहा था मैं अपना, बस मैं अपना कन्फेस किया कि भैया क्या हुआ, गाली क्यों दे रहे हो। तो उनका वो प्लानिंग था क्या था वो मेरे को पता नहीं, पर उन्होंने डायरेक्ट मेरे में अटैक कर दिया उन लोग ने। तो फिर भैया आया मेरे को बचाने के लिए आया, फिर भैया को मेरे को कड़ा से मारा, भैया को लगा उससे, फिर भैया को उन लोगों ने चाकू मार दिया स्पाइन की तरफ में।
Imagine yourself in that situation. You are being targeted for the way you look, and you kept pleading that I am an Indian. Dear India, please listen to me. I am an Indian. So please don't kill me. He fought for his life for almost 2 weeks. He did not survive. He breathed his last on December 26, a day after Christmas. Santa Claus could not gift him life because the demons had hurt him this bad that God decided to give him peace in another world, in another land where there is no hate. On December 27, his body returned to Tripura, his home, not as a graduate, not as a professional, but in a coffin. Let that sink in. A bright life ended not by accident but by hate.
माइकल और एंजल कुछ सामान खरीदने के लिए वो मार्केट में गया था। तो जब सामान खरीद के वो लोग लौट रहे थे उनकी रेस्टोरेंट पे, तो कुछ गुंडा देहरादून का उन लोगों को नॉर्थ ईस्ट के चेहरा देख के चाइनीज, चिंकी, मिंकी, मोमो ऐसे बोल रहे थे। तो माइकल बाइक से उधर के उन लोगों को कहने जा रहे थे, तो भैया आप लोग ऐसे मत बोलो, हम भी इंडियन हैं, हम लोग को चाइनीज मत बोलो, हम लोग को चिंकी मत बोलो। तो ऐसे कहने से डायरेक्ट अटैक कर दिया वो गुंडों ने। यही कहना चाहता हूँ, ये हम लोग का नॉर्थ ईस्ट के ऊपर इतना क्या प्रॉब्लम है। तो हम भी तो इंडियन है ना, तो हम लोग का नेशनलिटी इंडियन ही लगती है। तो हम लोग को देखे वो लोग चाइनीज, चिंकी मिंकी ऐसा बोलना ठीक है क्या?
This is not an isolated crime. Let's be very clear about it. This isn't new, this isn't rare, this isn't accidental. People from the Northeast, especially those with the Mongoloid features, have long been treated as outsiders in their own country. They are called Chinese, Nepali, Corona, foreigners, as if India ends somewhere in the mainland.
जो नॉर्थ ईस्ट का है, सेवन सिस्टर का, वो छोटे आग वाला है और छोटे नाग वाला है, इसलिए ताकि कि हम लोगों को भारत का अपना नहीं मानते। दूसरी बात, अगर हम दिल से, जन्म से और संस्कृति से भी आधारित है भारत का, फिर भी क्यों हम लोग को नॉर्थ ईस्ट का जो लोग हैं उनको क्यों परिचय देना पड़ेगा, कि आधार कार्ड देना पड़ेगा, क्यों परिचय देना पड़ेगा? हम लोग इंडियन है, मरते दम तक भी हम इंडियन रहेंगे।
This mindset is most viciously visible in parts of central and northern India, where some believe they are the only real Indians and everyone else is living here on rent without agreement. A Bengali is called a Bangladeshi, a Sikh is often called Khalistani, a Muslim is often labeled as a Pakistani, and people from Northeast are called Chinese. Who are Indians then? Let's ask this question: who are Indians then?
ছেলে মেয়েদেরকে আমরা পাঠাই, কিন্তু আজকে শেপ এবং শিকড় হয় না। কেন হয় না? সরকার থেকে কেন আমাদের মায়ের কুল শূন্য হবে? আমরা ভারতীয় নয়, আমাদেরকে চাইনিজ বলবে কেন?
During COVID, a section had made racism acceptable. During the first wave of COVID-19, this hatred exploded into public violence. In March 2020, in Delhi, a Manipuri woman was spat on with betel juice and called Corona. FIR was only filed after public outrage. On March 28, 2020, in Mysuru, 2 students from Nagaland were denied groceries. Even Aadhaar wasn't enough to prove their citizenship as Indians. Then in Ahmedabad, in 2020, during the COVID period, 9 Naga employees were forcibly picked up for COVID tests because someone complained that they were from China. In Delhi, in mid-2020, students from Manipur and Nagaland were evicted, abused, denied taxis, called China virus. A joint survey by Jamia Millia Islamia and the National Commission for Women revealed that 81% of Northeast women in Delhi have experienced harassment, with 42% facing verbal abuse and 26% reporting molestation. Shockingly, 4 out of 5 victims never file a complaint. These numbers are more than statistics. This wasn't ignorance. This was collective permission to dehumanize. After 78 years of India's independence, such things happening on the Indian soil, that itself is a shame. And this has been on because of silence from power. Here's the most dangerous part. When Manipur burned for 2 years, where was the Prime Minister? Did Prime Minister Narendra Modi visit the trouble-torn land when it was burning to kind of give this sense of assurance that, look, I am here, end all the violence, and everything would be normalized again in my presence, under my supervision? Did he do that? No, he did not. Not even an appeal for peace. Same with the president of our country. People kept on crying for attention, begged for help, wanted someone to intervene and end the violence. But all they got was stoic silence from the Prime Minister, minus 2 occasions where he had to politically counter the opposition. He had never spoken on Manipur. After 2 years of violence, he went there and spoke about GST reduction, how that would help the people, as if pain had some GST, and his long overdue visit was needed because he needed to announce reduction in GST, and thus the pain would now subside because GST on pain has come down.
हमारी सरकार चाहती है आपकी बचत बढ़े, आपका जीवन और आसान बने, इसलिए अब सरकार ने जीएसटी को बहुत कम कर दिया है। इससे मणिपुर वालों को डबल फायदा होगा। इससे हर रोज इस्तेमाल होने वाली अनेक चीजें जैसे साबुन, शैम्पू, हेयर ऑयल, कपड़े, जूते, ये सब सस्ती हो जाएगी।
When floods devastated Northeast, there was silence. When Assam saw violence, there was silence. But election rallies, oh yes, you will see costumes, one-line local language speeches from teleprompters and then blame the Congress. This is not look-ist policy. This is look-away politics. What is the point of dressing like the region when you refuse to speak when the region bleeds? You don't become blind by closing your eyes. It does not become night because you refuse to see the light. It's like you obliterated these incidents as if they never happened. Maybe he doesn't want these incidents to be highlighted as his failures in his biography or autobiography if and when it's written. Imagine the last Mann Ki Baat of 2025, the golden words of a Prime Minister came on this Sunday. That's 2 days after Angel died, yet he did not speak about it. He spoke of Ghuspetia in Bengal, but not a word on those who are killing Indians as Indians. Please understand, PR is not empathy. For example, 20 days after Angel was brutally attacked, Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, Pushkar Singh Dhami, spoke to Angel's father only after he was no more, and there's massive social media outrage seeking accountability. Soon after that, a video has now surfaced, released by he himself, a video of his conversation with the father, well edited and well packaged.
हाँ, गुड मॉर्निंग चकमा जी, कैसे हैं तरुण जी?
ठीक है।
बहुत हमारा एक्चुअली में बहुत ही दुखद घटना हुआ। हम बहुत दुखी हैं इससे, और इस पर हमने बहुत सख्त कार्रवाई के लिए कहा है यहाँ पर, है ना। और पाँच लोग जो भी इसमें थे बदमाश, 5 गिरफ्तार कर लिए गए हैं, जो भी इस घटना में जिन्होंने भी अपराध में किया है। और एक कोई नेपाल का था, शायद वो नेपाल भागा हुआ है या कहाँ है, तो उसके ऊपर इनाम यहाँ घोषित हमने कर दिया है, और उसको पकड़ने के लिए भी टीम वहाँ पर भेज दी गई है पुलिस की ना। लेकिन चलिए, अब ये तो सब हो ही जाएगा, लेकिन बहुत दुखद है और हम बहुत दुखी हैं, मतलब सच में बहुत कष्ट है हमको। और मैं समझ सकता हूँ आपका बहुत कष्ट है, परिवार में बहुत कष्ट है, और थोड़ा सा हिम्मत करिए। और क्या कहें, बहुत आपके लिए, एक पिता के लिए इससे ज़्यादा कष्ट और क्या हो सकता है ना। माता पिता के लिए आपके परिवार में बहुत कष्ट, बहुत दुख है, बहुत अनहोनी है। हम भगवान से यही प्रार्थना करेंगे, और इन जो भी लोग इसके दोषी हैं उनको हम लोग कड़ी से कड़ी सज़ा दिलाएंगे। यहाँ मैंने उनसे भी बात किया था, हमारे जो मुख्यमंत्री जी हैं डॉक्टर मानिक शाह जी से भी परसों मेरा बात हुआ था, उनका भी फ़ोन आया था, और माननीय गृह मंत्री जी का, रक्षा मंत्री जी, सभी लोगों ने बात किया है मुझे, है ना। तो हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं इसमें, तो हम इसमें पूरी कार्रवाई करवाएंगे। आप बिल्कुल, मतलब इस बात के लिए तो कोई आपको नहीं करना, जो भी कठोर से कठोर कार्रवाई होगी वो होगी। और हम लोग पूरे परिवार के साथ हैं, हर तरीके से आपके साथ हैं, इससे दुख की घड़ी में हर तरीके से, है ना। यहाँ पर तो बहुत पूरे देश भर के बच्चे हैं, मतलब मुझे लगता है कि कई लाखों बच्चे बाहर के आते हैं यहाँ पढ़ने के लिए, सभी जगह के ना। और हर जगह का अच्छा इंस्टीट्यूशन यहाँ पर है, सब कुछ है। और ये जो है ये दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है बहुत यार, हम लोगों के लिए भी बड़ा कष्ट है, बहुत कष्ट है ना। और सच में बहुत कष्ट है, मतलब मैं समझ सकता हूँ, क्योंकि बच्चों का इस प्रकार से होना और एक माता पिता के लिए क्या कष्ट होता है, मैं इसको महसूस कर रहा हूँ आपका। हम लोग ऐसी घड़ी में सब आपके साथ हैं, यहाँ से भी हम लोग जो भी मदद होगी यहाँ से करेंगे, है ना सब, ठीक है ना, करेंगे। आप अपना ध्यान रखिएगा, परिवार का ध्यान रखिएगा। ठीक है तरुण, ठीक है।
Notice what was missing? No, how are you? Not for once did he ask, how is the younger brother doing? How is the mother? How are you dealing with this irreparable loss, dear father? No concern for the younger brother who will carry this trauma forever. The wound is not on his head, it's in his faith, deep inside the heart. A simple one-way communication. He wanted to say what he had to say, and that too for camera. This wasn't compassion. This was crisis management. People know, people do understand the difference between PR and pyar. This wasn't pyar. And can you really trust that justice will be done? Really? Can you really trust that? We have heard that line before. Remember Mohammed Akhlaq? He was killed by mob in September 2015 in Dadri, Uttar Pradesh on suspicion of consuming beef. 10 people were arrested after that. Now, 10 years later, the Uttar Pradesh government has moved to court to withdraw charges against the accused who are on trial. The same people who are accused of lynching a clerk. Think about that. The state arrested them, the state charged them, framed the charges, and then the state said, enough drama, let them go. This sends one message to mobs across India, like, do it. The system has your back. That is how impunity is manufactured. Angel was killed in a state where hate has been institutionalized. The state that has the honor of being the first state where UCC, Uniform Civil Code, has been implemented. The state where Muslim homes were bulldozed, madrasas demolished, riots ignored or justified. These were not just actions against Muslims. They were state endorsement of hate, and hate never stops with one community, period. Hate is a boomerang. When Muslims were lynched, many clapped. When Kashmiri shawl sellers were beaten up in Mussoorie after the Pahalgam attack, there was silence again. Did Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister, speak then? No. Imagine, terrorists from Pakistan came and attacked us Indians on Indian soil. Instead of questioning the central government, how Pakistanis came and attacked us on our soil, our section was busy labeling fellow Indian Muslim Kashmiris as Pakistanis or Pakistani sympathizers. They were given a quiz, say Vande Mataram or Jai Shri Ram, to prove their Indianness. Poor shawlwalas were attacked and no one resisted. Remember, when politics feeds on hate, no one is spared. Not Muslims, not Christians, not Northeasterners. Not even those cheering today. Hate always comes back with a knife in its hand. Look around. How many incidents of hate have happened in the past 1 week alone against the Christian community? Christmas, for heaven's sake, Christmas celebrations were targeted by Bajrang Dal and VHP in different parts of BJP-ruled states. They could have been simple incidents of crimes, but India's image has been tarnished more because of the silence from the top. These days, even children are not spared. Muslim children are profiled, targeted for putting tilak on Hindu foreheads in Ayodhya. Somewhere else, they are targeting Muslim children and asking them to shout Jai Shri Ram, as if 100 crore Hindus chanting Jai Siya Ram isn't enough. That the uneducated rot wants Muslims too to chant Jai Shri Ram, as if bhakti of Hindus was never enough to please the God. Muslims are targeted inside a cafe who came to be part of a birthday party. The right-wing members shout love jihad, but they are the ones waging jihad against the secular, inclusive India, and the Prime Minister is silent. Angel Chakma died saying, I am an Indian. He shouldn't have needed to say that. He was a bright student and had earned a placement for himself in a French company. His house is in a remote village in Tripura. Imagine, he would have earned to make a difference in the lives of his parents. Mind it, his father is a BSF Jawan. He is a son of a soldier, and a son of a soldier was asked to prove as whether he is Indian or not. He could have been an inspiration for his brother and his community. He would have been an inspiration for others to dream and achieve from that remote village in Tripura. The tragedy is not just that Angel was killed. The tragedy is that millions still feel they must prove they belong. If this country keeps deciding citizenship by faces, surnames, and food habits, then more angels will die. And each time we will light candles, yes, each time we will light candles, take out a protest march, post outrage on social media, and move on. Until one day, the question comes for us, are you Indian enough? And by then, it will be too late. Lastly, this is my personal note. The people of Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Tripura, Manipur, Assam, Nagaland, Mizoram, Meghalaya are among the most beautiful souls I've known. Have been there for work so many times. They embraced me without ever asking whether I look like them, speak like them, or prove that I am an Indian. They never demanded a certificate of belonging from me. And maybe that is why it boils my blood that we still talk about them as a region to be explained. The Northeast. our geography to be defended. We don't call Uttar Pradesh Central India as an identity, right? And similarly, we must not reduce people from down south as South Indians as a qualifier of loyalty. Pongal and Onam are separate festivals and both are beautiful. Both are important to India. End this tagging of people as Northeastern or South Indian, because this constant tagging is not geography, it is politics. Divide and rule, repackaged for a new age. India is not a collection of compartments. It is one country. And every time someone like Angel Chakma is forced to say, I am an Indian before dying, it is not just his life that is lost. It is our collective moral collapse. And that is unacceptable. Hope you all wake up. Wake up soon before it's too late. Jai Hind, Satyameva Jayate.